Good morning. Hello. Brad and I are in Kanab, Utah, and I wanted to come at you live to answer a question you guys sent us. So I had someone who asked a question about what to do about exercises when she removes her prosthetic leg. She has an amputation above the knee. And I also thought that this answer could apply to most people who have anything going on with their knee, ankle, or foot. And so if you need modifications for your leg, this is for you. All right. I want to tell you a couple stories. One is about Joseph Pilates. Many people would be sent to him to be fixed, and I use that in air quotes because that's not what we do in Pilates. But they would come into a studio and they would have an ankle injury, like Ramona had this massive ankle injury, and he worked her out without even touching the ankle. And that might sound a little weird to you, but the whole idea of his method was that if you are connected to your center, then the balance that creates in your body removes potentials for injury and also helps the body heal the injury, because a lot of injuries happen due to asymmetries. Now, when you have an amputation, it's a different story. However, there's still something you can apply to that. It's not about what we don't have access to. It's actually about what we do have access to. And when you think about what you do have access to in your body, it allows us to create the balance from there. Another story I want to share with you really quickly is this. One of my first times teaching, I was working in a studio. I've been teaching maybe a couple of months, and my boss was like, "Hey, I need you to teach my client." And I was like, "Okay, is there anything you know about her?" And she said, "Nope, she's totally your typical client, has some asymmetries, but you'll work through them." And I was like, "Okay, no problem." So I was like, "Okay," she comes in and she has an amputation above the knee. And I was like, "Oh, okay, she has some asymmetries." And then my brain, I had this moment, I was like, what am I going to do? But I decided to actually take it a different approach. And that's the approach I'm going to teach you today. What can she do? And I saw her body move in some ways on the mat that would allow me to understand where her asymmetries are coming from, where she leans into, how she uses the rest of her body. And then I chose exercises to support what her body needs, which is length on the side that she actually has the amputation on, and strengthening the hips all the way around. And so when it comes to you, if you have, whether it's an amputation or an injury of any kind, I want you to approach every class you take, every exercise is like, what is possible for me right now? Right? Just because you have a foot or a knee injury does not mean that you cannot do many of the exercises. For example, if I was on the reformer, and actually, I'll tell you why. I had a fractured tibial plateau. So when I got on the reformer, I did single leg footwork. I did the 100, no problem. I did overhead, no problem. I did coordination, fine. All the rowings, totally fine. All right. I did it with my legs straight up, but I did the rowings. Then when it got to where I had to actually be on my leg for like the long stretch series, for example, I got on with the one leg that I had. I did the long stretch. I did down stretch. Yes, I had to maneuver my body in a different way because there was a tendency for me to lean to one side, but I was also able to do up stretch. Ooh, that's hard on one leg. It is possible. It is a version of the exercise, but you do want to be ready for that. Elephant, single elephant is an exercise, right? And then down stretch, very hard, but possible. So I share this with you in a way that I actually love making Pilates accessible for everybody. And I hope as you see the videos that we're dropping out now, that you're seeing possibilities for you to find a Pilates practice that works for you. In fact, when you look at the video we dropped today, it's actually talking about the science of Pilates. And there is lots of science-backed stuff about Pilates, and it isn't always what you think. And so I really hope you check it out. But when you approach exercises, instead of going, oh, I can't do that because of this, oh, I can't do that because of this, I want you to ask yourself, what can I do? And when you approach it like that, it changes not only the way you see Pilates, but also what you see is possible for you in life. At onlinepilatesclasses.com, we actually talk about this a lot. When we are teaching classes, we obviously can't see you. That's the one thing about an on-demand class that you're taking whenever you want. We can't see you take it. But if we can remind you in each and every class that is brave and courageous to do what is possible in your body that day, then you actually are practicing that. And when you go out into the world, instead of going, oh, I can't do that, oh, I can't do that, you actually start to change that and go, okay, well, what can I do? I may not be able to stand on two legs evenly right now or ever, but what can I do in this moment that allows me to stand strong in the center that I have and show up in the way that I want? I love the questions that you guys ask us. Make sure you post them in the comments below. We answer them on our lives every single Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Just so happens that it's 9 a.m. MST today. We are traveling. Please check out today's video about the science about Pilates, and then check out the class we dropped last week. I really hope you enjoy it. If you have any other questions, put them below. And if you're curious about what it's like to take Pilates in a way that fits your needs, when you want to do it, where you want to do it, and you want to be reminded of what is possible, and you can send in videos of your form for us to give you some feedback on if you're a member of OPC, then go to the description below. Check out the YouTube promo we have. It's onlinepilatesclasses.com/YouTube. You'll have a special offer to join our OPC family, to see what we're all about, to get feedback on your form, to get accountability, and so much love. Plus, I answer your questions every single day in there. All right, love, I got to hit the road. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.